next level, moves to the next level. And I believe that's why you all piqued interest in contesting for the various posts in its first general election. So tonight, basically, we would be asking you certain questions related to the organization's goal, objectives, and the positions, the respective positions that you've all you want to contest for, rather. So, without much waste of time, I would like to introduce Professor Presley, who is here with us. We've been handling the editorial, not editorial now, sorry, the electoral board. Sorry, I'm quite used to academic stuff. So, because editorial has board, electoral has board. So, please pardon me. We've been handling the planning and processing of everything that has to do with this election, forthcoming election, with the help of other OAAD executives. We've been communicating with them closely in the recent weeks, and also with Professor Presley, who is one of us also, and Pago also, a member of the editorial board, sorry, electoral board rather. And we have two other colleagues that I think they are not on this platform now, but may join us in the course of this interview tonight. One of them is Professor Yekini, and the other is um, Sister Cynthia. So um, I don't know if Professor Presley and Pago would like to say one or two things. The floor is yours, sir. Oh, Professor Presley, your mic is muted. We can't hear you.
Oh,
Unmute.
oh. I'm
All
sorry
right.
about that. Well, I think you've made a very nice introduction already. I think we should just get ready for the process. Nothing to say for now.
Okay. What about Pago? Yeah, he's here.
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
I think that you already said everything, so without wasting anyone's time, so we can proceed.
All right. Thank you so much. So the order of the interview tonight would be beginning with the president, and next would be the vice president Central Africa. Then after that, we would move to the Vice President, Eastern Africa. And before I continue, you would notice that in the WeChat group where we have all the nominated candidates, a list has just been published. And that list would be our guide for tonight's interview. For example, those candidates who only got a single nomination, you would see one against their names on the last column, which is the remarks column. It means that they only got a single nomination, and they might not be able to participate in tonight's interview if by chance any of those candidates have joined here. I think you may kindly exit. I hope that that is polite enough. Please, if it's not, pardon me for that. So that's one. So for all the candidates who only got a single nomination, we won't be entertaining you tonight. I hope you would have opportunity to serve OOAD, perhaps even in a bigger capacity in the future, because it's definitely going to be something big beyond what you and I imagine now. I mean, OAD. as an organization. So basically, we would start with that, and we have a list of candidates. Then we would move to the Vice President, West Africa, General Secretary, then Assistant General Secretary, Editor in Chief, Assistant Editor in Chief, Public Relations Officer, Assistant Public Relations Officer, Financial Secretary, and Treasurer, and finally, Vice President, African Diaspora. So this would be the order for this evening's interview. Then the modality would be that because we have a whole lot of candidates, we want you all to be as concise as possible so we can save time and get as much information that we need to make our decision on whether you would progress to the next stage of the electoral process or not. But of course, I hope and wish that you guys will. But it depends on the outcome of this, of course, the outcome of this interview. So each candidate, please, you would have around 3 to 4 minutes to respond to us. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
I don't know. If you have about 1 or 2 minutes to ask any question about all I said, if there is anything unclear to you, so that we can try to make you understand. Is everything clear?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Stats. Thank you,
Yes.
Mars. So, beginning with on our list, we have Elijah Odi, who has been nominated for the post of the president, and the other candidate got just one vote, so he would be the only one in that category in tonight's interview. So, Dr. Elijah Odi, we would like you to give a self-introduction, brief self-introduction. You have about 3 to 4 minutes. Brief self-introduction and reasons why we should elect you as the president of OOAD. So these are the 2 questions I have for you, and I believe in the next 60 seconds or thereabout, you should be able to wrap that up because there are other professors in the house that would also be asking questions. So your time starts now. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry. Can you still hear me?
Clear.
Okay.
From here, I don't know if others can actually hear you,
Yes.
but it's clear here.
Oh, great. Yes. Yes, so my name is Odi Elijah, and I am African, and I currently teach at the University of Nigeria, but also beyond that, I'm giving quite some attention to the process of development of an international non-governmental organization called Organization of African Academic Doctors. So these are the 2 basic things that take much of my attention right now. And also my specialty, my field of research is in development of sustainability indicators, particularly in the fields of environment and the economic aspects, as well as the social aspect of it. Yes, and why I want to be elected, or why I request the members of the OAAD to have me elected as the president, is that I have discovered a very strong passion in my heart about the need to develop Africa in a way that Africa should be strong enough to survive. And most of the things that pertain to, to my mind, every time I think about it, I see that myself as an individual, I can do very little. But all other things that are able to be achieved could only be achieved very effectively if we could have a very strong bonding together of several persons who understand what it means to develop a community voice that can speak for everyone else. So I understand very clearly what I need to do. I've been able to also do a few things in that regard through the process of, supported by other colleagues. We've been able to work together in OAAD to build the organization to the point where it is right now. And also, I have quite some experience with community engagement around the world. And I think I'll be very happy to bring these experiences to the Organization of African Academic Doctors to use that to help strengthen ourselves so that we can fly together. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Is there any question from Professor Presley? Please, the floor is yours. You can, and Dr. Pago also, Arnold. You can direct your questions to him and.
Okay. So it was a romantic kind of explanation that you just gave, and talking about your experiences, right? And things you've done. That's impressive in a way. But we're talking about 2 years ahead of us, right? So aspiring to be the head, the president of OAAD for another 2 years. I'm kind of interested in the plan that you have. Where do you expect to see OAAD in the next 2 years?
Okay, thank you very much for that question, Professor Presley. So in the next 2 years, I look forward to seeing the OAAD float her own journal, because we have a lot of people in OAAD who are researchers, and we've seen that one of the challenges we have at the moment is that many of us, we're able to publish in very high impact journals, but not many of them are of African origin. And then also within the next 2 years, I want to see a way that we can link up with several other high profile organizations around the world to be able to present OAAD in a bigger light, to really present ourselves the way we are. In 2 years also, we hope that we can have a more robust website that can provide coverage of everything that OAAD is doing. And also in 2 years, we hope that we can provide more services and more support to our members who are spread across the world. We want to be able to link up with them more effectively and be able to support them to make progress in whatever they're doing. And of course, also want to be able to see members of OAAD who are able to start businesses and want to be able to get partners for them, and also encourage our people to patronize ourselves and strengthen ourselves together. So generally, I want to also be able to identify other highly experienced individuals within the community who can bring in their expertise to ensure that we build a more robust organization that can represent Africa at every level. And want to be able to see that when we speak, whenever we say anything, nobody anywhere in the world will be bold enough to to oppose what we say, as long as it connects to Africa. Want to see OAD becoming a global voice that can speak for Africa and even for African heads of states. And everybody, just protect everyone, because I believe that the level of expertise and the professionals we have in the house, we are able to do anything we set out to do. We are also young, we are active, we are energetic, and there is nothing we set our hearts to do that we cannot do. And yes, that's it.
Impressive, thanks.
Thank you.
So, Pago, do you have a question? We are running out of time.
No question, no question.
All right, thank you. So, thank you, Dr. Elijah. It was quite impressive interview with you. So, we would get back to you and other candidates afterwards. Thank you. You may want to stay around. It's up to you, but you are also free to leave if you have other businesses.
Thank you.
So thank you. Yeah. So next, Vice President Central Africa. We have Abdullahi here. Is he here? Vice President Central Africa? Okay. If he's not here, we would quickly move to the next. What about Vice President?
She's here. Here.
Oh, all right.
Oh, she says she can't unmute.
Oh, she can't connect?
Unmute herself. Unmute.
Oh, yeah, they can't come in. Yeah.
I'm trying to see.
All right, what could be the... So while the Vice President Central Africa is trying to get connected, why don't we go straight to the Vice President East Africa if he's here? Is the Vice President East Africa here? Ayugi, Evelyn, those contesting, those nominated, Ayugi and Evelyn. Either of them.
Maybe we give the ladies chance to start off.
Sorry. Okay. Why you can also start if the lady is not ready.
Okay.
There is no specific order, I think. Whether you begin, we're just trying to be time conscious.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much again to the whole committee. My name is Brian Ayugi,
Okay.
a nationality Kenyan, and currently doing my postdoc in Nanjing City. Over the last 1 year, I've been serving as the Vice President East Africa Chapter. And why we are seeking the opportunity to continue with another mandate is because of the responsibility that is ideally first as a basic reason for going for this position. There are many ongoing mandates that we're charged with, some that we are spearheading directly, including the ensuring that the county ambassadors for the Doctoring Solutions for Community Initiative is well set up. The registration of the organization is directly under my mandate, which are, if we may all know, Organization of African Academic Doctors will be permanently located in Kenya's the headquarters office. And so we are having the mandate to ensure that that part is completed, and also engagement with other research group coordinators to ensure that every group is running accordingly, including the building up of other platforms like LinkedIn, which we are using as a part of the PR team. So with these responsibilities, some of them are still ongoing, and we feel that it is within the precepts that we ensure that we bring them to a good accomplishment, and then we can pass the mandate to other equally able members. That is my reason for going for this poster.
All right, thank you. I just got one more question for you before my colleagues would also put their questions to you. You are aware you will be in office if your candidacy is voted for, and this period will be for 2 years. So what are the plans you've got for OAD in your capacity as the vice president for this period of time? Can you share some of the things you have in mind with us that you would be executing, especially with respect to the overall goal and objective of the organization and also in the region?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You would actually be the eye of OAD in that region. That's why they have
Good.
regional vice presidents. So we would like you to share some of these things with us.
I will answer this question in two perspectives. Apart from serving as a regional coordinator, we are also carrying the broader picture of doctoring solutions to the whole world as also part of the mandate. And through the group of the research groups, and which is our professionalism comes in the climate research group, we are organizing or planning to ensure that this group is well strengthened, and we partner with other top-notch researchers in the field to bring in their expertise and help to build the African PhD and master's grooming candidates to be perfect in this area. So this area, we're working together with the coordinator to ensure that it is well attained. As regards to the regional mandate and perspective, we all know, number one, that Kenya is a hub for knowledge with also great professors and also top universities. And being the organization is going to be rooted, and we are trying also to ensure that we have the doctoring solutions for community initiatives. We intend to work closely with the regional partners, that is the top universities in the area, and tap into the expertise and bring them on board as part of the organization members or partnerships. So this is one area that we have already initiated some other local conversations ongoing, going to the universities to share the vision and ensuring that it is well attained at the long term.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Ayuki. Professor Presley is here also. He may want to ask you a few questions regarding your candidacy. And also,
Okay.
Dr. Ayugi, Dr. Pago is also here.
Sure.
All right, Professor Presley, Dr. Pago, the floors are yours. You may.
So congratulations on being one of those qualified for this interview in the first place. I listened to you talk about your mandates, and that was very nice to hear. But I also expected to hear something about some of those achievements you made. I didn't get the impression that you said a lot about that. So what would you say has been some of your greatest achievements for which we should be happy to give you another 2 years?
Thank you, Professor. OAAD is a community engagement, and so you might not necessarily carry the flag that you have the one who have attended this. But I will categorically mention a few things that we have together with the hours that we spent in the organization. We've managed to set up the constitution. which not so perfect, but it is a document that we can present to the community as part of our framework that will guide us over the many years, having served very strongly in the committee for that as our first initial mandate. Number two, being a member of a climate group, the one actually spearheading together with my colleague, Dr. Emmanuel, the research review that is being taken there, and our article is complete, which is supposed to be submitted next week. This is something that cannot do within a short period of time. It needs a lot of hours to ensure that it is well attained. And lastly, to oversee that the registration is at its 90% completion rate. A lot has gone under the water, which directly involved some of our engagement to ensure that this is accomplished. So these few other things, including hosting some of the conferences and activities that we've had over the past 1 year, gives us an idea that we have understood the principles and the vision which the organization is going, and we are able to carry it forward for the next other years that we have ahead. Thank you.
Nicely said. But just before I turn to my colleague, when you talked about the climate group, and I think I'm also a part of that group. And in fact, I have been really concerned because I feel personally that nothing has been going on. There is no information at all. I almost asked one time, as to whether that group was still existing. So, well, I do not think that you guys are really doing a fine work with the climate group. Well, I should be wrong, I suppose.
Let me answer you. At the very beginning, when we started the group organizations, probably you might have not joined the subgroup for the climate, but we had our first meeting and we had agreed on the review, or rather the research that we can undertake as part of the group. And this was at the very inception of the organization sometime last year.
You don't care about those who,
and so after this, we formed a subgroup that is now working on day to day.
You don't care about the
like having to the main group.
What about the latecomers? You got people joining at irregular intervals. Don't you think it is also important to get those people?
There's a coordinator for the group, and so I was given a mandate to spearhead the first research activity, which I'm spearheading with the subcommittee inside the group. But that is a responsibility that lies with the coordinator for the group, not myself, sir.
So if you were asked to grade your performance, right, up to 100%,
I've completed the mandate that I was given to lead a research in terms of the review process that we were given at that level. So I can say that we have accomplished something.
Thanks.
He wanted a percentage. Sorry, Dr. Ayugi. He was like, if you were asked to grade yourself on a scale of 1 to 100, what would your score be like?
80%.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Dr. Arnold?
Yes. I have a question. So just now you were talking about the climate group.
All right.
Are there not other groups over there? So what will you do for the other groups?
For the sorry, I never got it clearly. Which other groups?
Now you were talking about the climate group. About the climate group. Okay. My question is, what will you do for the other groups, like to improve?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, that other mandates that we are also undertaking is to ensure that other research groups, together with the coordinators, are running the activities as per the organization's vision. And so in a way, we are working together with other coordinators. I've been mandated to oversee 5 to 7 other research groups, which we work closely with the coordinators to ensure that the activities in those subgroups are running. We might not go and make this in the public arena, but we are working very closely and ensuring that each group, if you may see, some have already published their articles and some are having their research ongoing. And this is part of the things that we are driving to ensure that the vision is alive.
So how many groups have published, have already published?
We have got the statistics. In any case, you need the document, you can share it ideally. I don't have the things on my head to carry that. We have got 10, 20 groups that have already published, but we have got the statistics of everything that we have achieved ready in the public arena. We can always share.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Arnold. Thank you, Dr. Yugi. Finally, I know one of the initiatives that OAD is trying to push hard on is the paperless, in just one sentence, how you intend to make this initiative a reality within your
Sorry, I never
time in
got
the
the question.
office.
Sorry.
I mean, one of the initiatives that OAD has been working on is the paper to product initiative.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware? Are you aware of that?
I am the one spearheading the process and leading that
Oh,
subgroup of the doctoring
so perfect.
solutions to the community initiative, paper to product.
Great. Wow, that's quite interesting and on point for you. So I would like you to tell this house how you intend to make this a reality. What are the steps you plan to take to make this idea? Because it's really a good initiative, in my opinion. You know, we don't just do research and write papers because we've been talking about publishing. It shouldn't end there. We should be able to make much more out of the research we do, rather than just publishing and then forgetting it there. So, what plan do you have, especially in the East African region?
Thank you, Chairman. I will answer this again in 2 dimensions. Number one, that we are on progress rather to ensure that the paper to product initiative is accomplished through a framework that we call the Doctoring Solutions to Community Initiative, the DSCI. This
DSCI.
approach is where we
Doctoring
intend
what?
to
DSCI?
recruit the
DSCI?
Doctoring Solutions to Community Initiative, Doctoring
DSCI.
Solutions of Community Initiative, something like that, where we intend to recruit 108 country ambassadors to represent organization in various universities across the 54 African nations that we have. And so through this, we have got 3 steps that we need to accomplish in this, where the first is the call to the public to recruit the members, for the members who want to express interest to be part of this, which we have circulated communications, making public call to all the community to express their interest to be joining this. And number 2, we are also preparing a document, which is a guideline, where all the members will be enlightened on the organization visions and where we are going, so that they can understand the framework where the organization is. And then we also intend to recruit the members. Having done that, they will be forming part of this by issuing their appointment letter. So at this level where we are in the process of recruiting the membership for this. At the same time, we are also completing the process of the documentation to ensure that everything is institutionalized and all the members. And we have got a very good call for the members who have already expressed interest. We have communicated with them, and everything that we are doing is running as per expected. It is a process rather to recruit, and to on the country level, the East Africa, which we are spearheading, we have mapped out the nations and the universities along this area, because our main target are the people who are in the universities or within the business framework. So we also intend to ensure that each and every of the universities will be approached at each and every level to have them. And you have got almost in most nations, whether it is from Burundi, whether it is Kenya, whether it is Tanzania, all these people have already expressed interest, and I can say that we have already done the recruitment for the same.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that response. I think from here, that will be all um,
Okay.
for this interview session with Dr. Ayugi. And thank you, Dr. Ayugi. You could still be on the platform if you choose to, but if you have things to do, sure, you could exit the platform. Thank you once more.
Okay. Thank you so
Next,
much. I will
yeah,
exit.
all right. Um, next for Vice President East Africa, Evelyn.
Hello,
Right.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can hear you. Not sure if others can.
So I can hear you
Okay,
from here.
thank you for the opportunity. Well,
All right.
my name is Evelyn Ondi. I'm from Tanzania.
Okay.
Currently, I'm a
Okay.
PhD student at Henan University,
Okay.
Haiphong, China. Majoring in economics, mostly macroeconomics and development economics. Well, I'm competing to become a vice president Eastern African region. I can start by saying that a very famous quote that leaders are born, but also they can be built, developed, and also trained. Why I say that? I just joined OAAD recently, just some 2 months ago. I don't have much experience in this organization, but within that short period I've joined this organization, I was really impressed by the meetings that I've attended. I've learned a lot, and I've been able to join a research group, economist research group, and I also volunteered to be a secretary for that group. So that alone shows that I'm really passionate about this organization because it's just a friend of mine who said that like he also did not understand what the group. He just told me like there's a PhD group for people who are studying in China. What else? Okay. Um, he just said there is a group for PhD students who are studying in China. And by that time, because of Corona period, most of my fellow classmates already went home. So I needed some other PhD candidates, and then I joined the group. But after I started showing posts of the meetings, and when I attended the meeting, especially that paper to product meeting, I really understood it well, and I said, here is the place that I want to be, and I will not go. So since then, I've been trying to participate in different activities of the group, and now I'm really competing for this position. I believe I can do it. As I said, you may not be born a leader, but through training, mentorship, you can become great. And I have a testimony in that because I remember in my high school, I was really not into leadership. Actually, I was one of the rebel students, but this one day there was election. I just said, okay, let me try. I'll prove you guys wrong. I'm competing to become the president of the student council. Everybody was laughing at me. Say, for real, you can become the president of student council? I say, yeah, I can do it. I'll prove you wrong. I competed for that post, and I was really against a very strong opponent because that girl was in debate, in where very close to the teacher. So obviously she had all the impression that she was the one that who was going to win. But I did the campaign, and I stood on my ground that I'll become the coordinator between the students and the teachers. Because I'm a student, I already know all the tricks, so everything will go well. And luckily, I won that election, and even my father could not believe that. So through just that determination I had, that's when I discovered that I had something in me. And I did not take that post for granted until when I graduated, they awarded me the Best Leadership Award. So it did not stop there. As currently I'm speaking now, I'm also a representative of international students in my department of economics. I'm a center of communication between our department, our international students, and the leaders here in China. So shortly, I can say that I understand the vision of OAAD. That is, we want to create a quality society, right? Through innovation, technology, and research. But also we want to do that through doctoring initiative to Africa. And I've also learned that we need to change our perspective as PhD students. You know, most of us, we are just studying, you are doing a research just to graduate. You don't really put heart into a research. Like, what do you want to attain in that research? But after attending the OID meeting, I've discovered that in whatever that you're doing, even your research, that research, make sure that in the end of the day, it ends up to be a product or a service. It changed people's life, but at the same time, it can be a business opportunity for you, because we all want to get, to remove poverty in Africa. Okay, I don't want to speak much, but I can say that in East Africa, I know we have about six countries, and the population is more than 100 million.
Evelyn,
But only,
sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
Please, you have to be a little bit faster because we have
yes,
many
I'm
candidates.
concluding. I'm concluding. I'm concluding.
All right.
I'm concluding. Okay, just give me a minute. And within that population, only 20% they live in urban areas. All others are living in poverty isolated areas. So as academicians, as researchers, and all other organizations, we need to join together to remove these people out of poverty. Last but not least, I can speak all East African languages, the basic ones. I can speak French, I can speak English, I can speak Swahili. So I believe that I'll be able to coordinate with any stakeholder, anyone that will be beneficial to us as the OID to achieve our goals. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Evelyn, for introducing yourself and telling us why you think you should progress to the next stage. Professor Presley has some questions for you, I'm sure. And Arnold, Dr. Arnold also.
Okay.
So you can ask.
Okay. Congratulations for your nomination. First, I want to ask you, like, what were your contributions for the OAD? What is your greatest achievement in the OAD?
So far,
Yes.
my greatest achievement so far, I've just been able to join a research group in economics. I've made connections with other economists, and also there's an ongoing research about poverty alleviation. I'm also part of that. I hope at the end of the day we can achieve something out of that. That is my greatest achievement so far, because I just joined a few months ago.
2 months ago.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. So, can you tell us what do you plan for the OAD?
My main duty as a vice president is to assist the president to attain our vision and mission. So I believe through my knowledge, through my connections, and the connections that I'm still getting, I'll use that to connect, because we need not just PhD students, we need also other stakeholders, we need entrepreneurs, we need policymakers, we need to network with all those people to come together to achieve our main target. So I believe I'll be the center of coordination between all those groups in East Africa. And I can achieve that because I know the mission, the vision, and I have the knowledge about it. So through training and also, I believe we work as a team, not just an individual person. Whatever task that I'll be assigned to do, I'll be able to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let me
All
just
right.
maybe ask one very quick one. I think we spent a
All
lot of time already on you, but I was kind of very impressed with the experience you talked about. It's like you've been working in leadership for a very long time. And I want to know, right, because when we spend some time in a certain position, there must be something that we can learn from that. And when we're going somewhere else, right, we should be able to carry something that can impact that new place where we're going. And as you know, OAAD is a very new organization. I guess the guys who've been running it kind of put in a lot of passion. We can see that from how fast the organization has moved and where it is going. So in terms of leadership, what have you learned over the years that you think OAD will really be able to benefit from, right? Because in Africa, I think one of the things we really need is the ability to lead, right? Leaders who are able to motivate people to work and achieve, right? Very strong and great targets. So in this regard, what do you think you can bring to OAD?
Coordination is everything. My experience, coordination is everything. Once you're a leader, and especially a top leader, if you misuse your power, you just want to do everything without asking others because you just have the power. That's where things go wrong. And that's the problem actually in African leaders, because once someone has the power, they try to misuse it just because they can say, do this, don't do this, don't do this. What I've learned that in order to be a great leader, you need to coordinate with the whole system from the bottom to the top. That's how you can be great, because you not know what is going on down if you're always just focusing on the pyramid, just those top. So you have to be able to connect. You are a president, you have to be able to connect and teach the PhD student knowing what is happening on the ground. You don't say because you're a president, you just deal with the secretary and the vice president, other people, they don't see your matter. So for me, I've just learned that coordination is everything. If you want to go fast, as it is known, we need to go together. If you want to reach, go alone. That's all. Coordination is everything. That's what I've learned.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So we've heard you, and we would get back to all the candidates later. Of course, I can also see that you have years of experience when it comes to administration, but we hope if the candidate eventually vote you in, you would be able to bring these experiences on board to help OOAD achieve its goals and missions, not just across East Africa, but also across the African continent and even beyond the shores of Africa. All right, if you would like to be on the platform, you're free, but if you want to exit, is also fine. Thank you once again. Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Sorry for taking.
Wish you the best. Bye. So next candidate on our list is we're back to Central Africa. Do we have Abdullahi?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. I could see your hand raised. So the floor is yours. Please, Meham, be as brief as possible. Just go exactly to what we want.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Simon, for giving me the opportunity to express myself. First, we start by saying who I am. I am Akai Mamat Abdullahi. Usually I use Abdullah Babet. I'm a PhD candidate at China University of Geosciences. And I am majoring in land resources management, and my research area is more about environmental management. Then I'll go, how did I get to know about OAAD? I got to know about OAAD by my country-mate, Dr. Pago, who is among you guys. He invited me in the group. And I must say I was quite lost at the beginning because I just entered the group and I didn't really know where to go. But what I came to know about OAAD in the few 4 months that I've been in is that OAAD is like a parent guiding us, the kids, like the students in the research area, with experienced people, what to do and what not to do. And what have I done for OAAD during these few months? I got into the committee that was created by President Odi for the paper to product initiative. And I must say OAD has really enabled me to express the skills that I had quite hidden. I was very instrumental by helping in the translation. And it was great working with other people and seeing how leadership is done because President OAD was always there motivating us and going almost everywhere, being really present. And then his messages really encourage me every time. And also, I am the coordinator of the French OAD group of research, and I took the coordination at the beginning of the month of October, and it was quite a bit difficult to get everybody involved and active in the group because the group has been silent for like months because the former coordinator was no more in China, so he was not able to coordinate things. And by God's grace and by the help of everyone who could get people gathered, we already did 2 meetings, and we have 56 people who are officially registered based on the self-introduction template of OAAD. And now we are trying to organize sub-research groups. We have already 3 topics that have been registered. We are waiting for other people. The deadline is on Wednesday. So what have I achieved in general? I am also the president of the Cameroonian students in Wuhan. And I really want people to know about OAAD. So the first goal that I have as vice president of Central Africa is that I want OAAD to go to be known as far as possible in all African countries. Because what I noticed is that OAAD has been there for a while, but many people still don't know about OAAD, especially French speakers, because most of the time we haven't yet understood that PhD or research in general is about cooperation, and OAAD is that platform that allow us to collaborate with other people and get experience from other people. And the other plan I have is about helping the president because he will have a vision and we have to implement it in all the sub-regions. So in Central Africa, I will implement his agenda and I will also add to it the possibility for OAAD to have a virtual or let's say numeric library where people can download articles and also to increase the visibility of French speakers journals. Like we have some journals that are not that high impact, but they are journals from specific universities. And I think if OAAD encourage researchers to publish there, it will add the visibility of those African journals and help them to go higher. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Abdullahi, for the, well, I won't say concise. It was quite long, but of course informative description, introduction of yourself, and description of how what you have learned and how you intend to contribute to OAD. So I would leave the floor for Dr. Pago and Professor Presley.
So you sound very familiar with the visions of OAD, right? Because you want to be like an ambassador.
Yeah.
So tell us, all right. Assuming now that I did not know anything about OAD, and I wanted you.
Hello?
Oh, we lost.
Oh,
I can't hear him as well.
oh.
I can't also hear him.
Yeah. So, what could be the problem? Probably the
I
internet.
think he finished the question.
Oh, Professor Presley, please, we didn't hear you towards the end, I think. Okay, if she understood the question, she can answer, then she can respond.
Okay, I think the question was about like if someone new wants to know about OAD, how will I explain to the person OAAD? Is that it?
Yes, that's what I
Because
understand as well.
Sort of, yeah,
oh
sort of.
oh okay. If if I come across a newcomer or anybody who doesn't know OAD, I will present OAD as that because for me OAD is a family. So because the requirements are not high or impossible, I'll first of all tell the person that OAD is a family of researchers uh, from African origin, and OAD is that platform where researchers can express themselves freely without being judged by one another. And we have like parents who always tell you, don't do this, do this. Okay, if conflict arises between any of the members of the family, we know there are parents there to be taught and to bring us back on track by no, this is collaboration, do this and do that. And I'll also tell the person that in OAD, feel free to ask what you don't know. Feel free to say what you think as long as it doesn't disrespect others. Because in OAD, opinions are have high importance. And also, OAD is that place where you invest not necessarily money, but your time to make it grow. And OAD is for us Africans. It's like our child, our baby, and we have to make it grow. So when we talk about researchers in Africa, we know OAD comes first. So that's how I'll explain OAD to the layman or somebody who doesn't know about OAD.
All right, thank you, Abdullah Babette, right? Babette.
Yes.
All right, thank you. What about Dr. Arnold? We are running out of time. Would you like to? Yeah, the floor
Yes,
is
yes.
yours, please.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Babette. Congratulations for your
Thank you.
nomination.
Thank you.
Okay, just now you say that you are the coordinator of the OAD French. So I want to ask, like, in that short period, what did you learn so far? How could you do? What could you do to improve the OAD French? And how can you grade your achievement so far?
Okay, I will start by answering the last question. I can't really grade my achievement because I think there's still a lot of work that has to be done in that area. But what I've learned so far is that being a leader is or having the responsibility to coordinate fellow researchers is not easy, as many have a lot of things to do. Many are really busy. So you really have to be to have that soft touch to be able to bring everyone on board to participate and to put the input. And I also learned that as when you have responsibilities, if you don't have the passion for it, if you don't have the love for what you're doing, you feel discouraged because it's not easy to get people on board. And you can't just work with people who are interested and leave others just like that. You have to be able to gather everyone So yes. And as for, I hope that we can publish some articles and publish them in French language. So that would be great.
French language only. Why not also publishing in English? Or you didn't consider it?
Sorry, publishing
in English language.
Publishing in English is not how do I say? It's not out of question, but because many people want to publish in English, but the ideal would be to publish in French. So we are working towards it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have no other question. Dr. Samuel? Hello? Hello? Dr. Samuel?
Yeah, it seems like you can't hear him.
I can't hear Dr. Samuel. Can you hear him?
No, it's possible. It's like he muted himself. No sound.
Oh.
You're not muted, so
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry. I was trying. I can.
Okay, I think I can hear you now.
All right. All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's all for Babette. So if you would like to be on the platform, you could be here. And if you would like to leave, also you're free to do so. We would get back to you later. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Please, let's be as fast as possible. We are running out of time. So next is Vice President North Africa. We have Taha Hussein. Is Taha Hussein here?
That's North Africa, right?
Yeah, North Africa. Northern Africa, North Africa.
Yeah, he's here.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. Thank you, sir. Please, I would appreciate if you could talk.
Taha Musa is an Arabic name. You can just summarize like Taha. I'm from Sudan.
Okay.
I'm PhD students in Southeast University School of Public Health in Jiangsu Province. This year is my final year for my PhD. I have previous experience working with non-governmental organization since 2000, since 2003. 2006.
Hello. Hello. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Governmental organization.
Can you hear me?
And also I joined OAAD as the Vice President for North African region.
Can you hear me?
Dr. Taha, can you?
We did much more.
Can you hear him?
In establishment, foundation, sharing idea, sharing knowledge, working as a team, try to solving the problem.
Dr. Taha, Professor Samuel is calling your attention. Can you hear him now?
Of educational group, building capacity for master students of the PhD students. Because why I love master students, because of one thing, I always to train young generation.
Yeah, Professor Samuel is calling your attention.
Well, then they can grow up best for future. For that reason, I coordinate for that. We did a lot of training for those students in Department of Science, Financial, Entrepreneurships. We guide them, and we started working on research, producing articles. Also, we are being a part of a paper product that we try to publish many articles under OAAD, because my overall dream is to see OAAD globally, where among other organizations, institutions, college, through those ideas, through those links, we can see OAAD everywhere, every place. And also through the social media platform, also we can see like OAAD through the contributions, through the training sessions, through the YouTube channels, through those lectures, and that's a way we can introduce OAAD everywhere. It's not only in China, but also those are in Africa and Asia Pacific regions. And also for me as a North president, also I have to transfer those ideas into the universities, college, and institutions. Later, maybe we can move to non-governmental organization, to UN organization.
Hello?
And for grow up
Hello?
through knowledge based on residence.
Hello?
Right? That seeking for fund and
Hello?
non-profit
Hello,
organization
sir?
up to a big organization in future.
It seems he can't hear me.
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Yes. Hello.
Okay. We've been trying to get your attention since, but it seems you couldn't hear us. Yeah.
You hear me?
Yes. Yes. Please, Miss Victoria, please, you could mute your mic. Hello?
Hello.
There is one Victoria as mic. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Hello? Yeah, I was going to tell you to be conscious of time because we don't have much time, but it's okay. So, my question for you is that,
Yes.
like, why do you think you're the best candidate for this position, the Vice President, Northern Africa?
Okay, for me,
Yeah,
why
please
is
please in 1 minute, 60 seconds. I'm timing you.
Oh, it's still a young organization. For me, still we are in a very stage. We need more effort to move forward. We start some project, we start some setting program, and we did not complete it. For that reason, we need to push up those ideas until the organization grow up. That will be my overall goal for it.
All right. Thank you. Dr. Pago, Professor Presley.
Okay. Yes. Congratulations for your nomination. I have a question. Just now you said that you started some project and you did not complete it. So can you tell us the reason why you did not complete those projects?
Why we did not complete that project? Because when we start initiative ideas of bringing master students to OAD, have almost just like more than 300 or 200 to 300 students. And when those students when the number of those students is raised to 500, 600, 700, and we train them through the OAD master groups, and they grow up and enter to the PhD, then they will be well qualified to do a lot of things. Another thing, we start a journey of like producing an article, train them to grow up, how to write an article, how to publish an article, and how to become a leaders. And also, we are in a stage also one of things. And another thing, OAAD, for my idea, is still a young organization. Why? Because based on my previous experience, we need adaptations. We need times to grow up. We need at least 2 to 3, 4, 5 years. We need solid foundation. We need to share ideas together from the knowledge we get from the field, from the different organization and other EU organization, and to build a strong organization. And I believe that within 2 to 3 years, OAD will be different from any other organization like I seen in Asia Pacific countries and the organizations that I join, like UN organization like Oxfam. OAD start the same ideas, but we need to grow up. We need to work hard together to bring those people together. If we bring our community together, then we can do a lot. Another thing is also a lot of projects we did not start. We start only one, raising fund. And raising fund, we only just one proposal until now for one. We need to train our community. We need to train our stockholder, our staff, special master, PhD students, make some trainings. Everyone can write his own proposal and to raise funds. And this will help us, PhD students, will help Africa and will help everyone for poverty elevation, especially in Africa region. And it will become a part of entrepreneurship and also will become a part of opportunities for young generation, those they doesn't have a job or opportunity in coming future. I hope so.
All right. Yeah. Dr. Arnold, do you have other questions for him? What about Professor Presley?
No, it's okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Taha, thank you for responding to those questions. And we hope you would be able to hear from us after now. If you would like to stay on the platform, it's totally up to you. You're free to do so. But if you want to exit, you can as well do so. Thank you once again for your
Okay,
interest in the position.
thank you so much.
Yeah. So without much time being taken, let's quickly go to the next interview. Leseko Maketa for Vice President, Southern Africa.
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Please, before you proceed, please let's stick to time. You have 120 seconds to tell us about yourself and why you think you are the best candidate for this position. About 120 minutes, 120 seconds, 2 minutes to be precise.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Lesoko Maketa. I'm currently a PhD student at Peking University. I'm on my final year. So what has drawn my attention to the OAAD has been basically its vision to enhance the quality of life in Africa, particularly through research, technology, and innovation. Now, for the position, I think the experiences that I have, though they are local experiences, is that I've been involved in a lot of innovative projects, in research projects in my country, which is Lesotho. For instance, I've been involved in building industrial parks, the innovation hubs, the corporate society, which is the more sort of corporate bank to finance development projects that we are conducting in my country currently. China in Peking University. I've been trained at Peking University. I've been trained in the National School of Development, which is Institute of South-South Cooperation and Development. That's the sixth highest think tank, the sixth biggest think tank of China. So there I've been trained on how to develop and how to develop a nation, how to enhance the quality of the people in a country. So I think with that experiences, I can be quite competitive in this position that I'm contesting for. Also, again, I've been involved in a lot of research papers. Some of the research papers are
You've been timed.
Oh yeah. So I've been working on a lot of research papers, including development papers. I've been working on foreign direct investment as well. I'm not sure if you can still hear me.
Clear. Absolutely clear from here.
Yeah, so now the question is, how are my experiences relevant for this position? One of the questions that I've been asking myself for the longest time is, it's true that in Africa we are writing a lot of papers, but the question is, what is the end result of this question, of these papers that we are publishing? So that's where I want to come into this committee, that as OAAD member, I don't think we should just be engaged in writing and publishing paper, but we should also see that those papers actually become the reality of Africa in terms of development, innovation, and technology in Africa for the betterment of the citizens of this continent. Also, there's a lot of brain drainage in Africa. Most of the people who are technology-oriented, innovation-oriented, you'll find that most of the times they are drawn towards the developed economies. So they leave Africa into more developing economies to develop such economies. So here I think we should be, through OAAD, I think that's the best platform to actually identify the Africans who are more innovative, who have technology-based, technology-oriented minds. Then we should be able to identify such people and then make sure that we give them the best platform to practice what they know best.
All right. I would cut you short now, if you
Okay.
don't mind. I'm sorry for that, but we are really time is really against us, so we might not be able to take much. So thank you for the presentation and the introduction and trying to let us know why you think you are the best candidate to take up this post, Vice President Southern Africa. So my colleagues will ask you a few things, then you will respond to them. Professor Presley, the floor is yours. Dr. Arnold. Hello? Professor Presley?
Okay. Yes, I'm here. Okay.
So I had
so
to...
he was kind of breaking through. I didn't really follow what he was saying. I think it's my problem here with the internet. But what experience have you had in leadership that you think has prepared you for what you have ahead of you? Because OAAD is not a joke, right? When you come to OAAD, you should come knowing that there is a lot of work to be done. So what preparation have you had for this job?
Okay, thank you. So
yeah, I might have to be interjecting. Why? Because you have 60 seconds, just to let you know, to respond.
Okay, thank you. It's a quite interesting question. Like I said initially, I've been involved in building industrial parks in Lesotho, in innovation hubs, in corporate. At the moment, we are developing the corporate bank to finance the developments that we have in my country. So I've been working as a team, as a part and a team of all those innovative projects. And I think this is basically what OAAD is about, building innovative projects and prepared me for this initiative, even though I admit that they are at a local level. But I think as an expand
Your voice is breaking. I can barely hear you. Not sure if it's the same for others. I can't
I
hear
cannot,
him anymore.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
cannot
Can
hear
you hear
him.
me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, your time is up.
Oh,
Uh,
no problem.
I had part of the explanations, though. So we would thank you for your interest in contesting for the position of Vice President Southern Africa. And we would get back to you after now. You could be on the platform if you want to, and if you think it's not necessary for you to be on the platform, then you can exit. All right, thank you so much.
Okay, thank
Next, yeah, thank you. Next is Kiru Suchungwe for Vice President Southern Africa. Kiru. Kiru Suchungwe is here. Otherwise, we go to the next candidate. Is Mavis Kolobe here?
Yes, I'm here.
Mavis Kolobe, right?
Yes.
All right, the floor is yours. Please be as brief as possible. Within 120 seconds or thereabout, you should introduce yourself and tell us why you think you should be voted for as the Vice President, Southern Africa, OAD. All
Thank you,
right.
Chair.
Yeah.
My name is Mavis Kolobe. I'm a PhD student at UIBE and a lecturer at University of Botswana. I've been a member of OAD for a few months. And over the months that I've been part of the team, I've been amazed by the quality publications that I've seen being shared in the groups and how we help each other whenever someone runs into trouble with that research. And like, it's really good for us, especially the young researchers. But again, what I've seen or the gap that I've seen in the few months that I've been part of the organization, it's the partnering with relevant internal and external stakeholders. I haven't seen much work in that area. And it's for this reason why I decided to contest for Vice President Southern Africa. And these are my reasons. For the few years that I've been a researcher, my research has always focused on policy-based research. I've done consultancy work for the government of Botswana, for UNFPA, and I've also been part of a team that was given a grant by Partnership for Economic Policy to localize SDGs in Botswana. And for these reasons, I felt that I have the connections, I have the skills that are necessary for OAAD to now push this mandate, which personally I feel has been left out. And I was also happy when the contestant for presidency also emphasized this point. And I felt that, okay, it's fine. If I'm the Vice President for Southern Africa, it means that I'm also aligned to what the president aims to achieve. Also, for Southern Africa in particular, I'm actually concerned about our research output. Yes, I'm I'm concerned about our research output. It's just South Africa that is publishing, and the other states are not doing any much publication in that area. And I felt it's time that we have a group for people from Southern Africa. We do our research together. We help each other and we push more publications from our area. And being from Botswana, I'm neutral. Like, I can work with those who are from the upper part of Southern Africa and the lower part of Southern Africa. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you for that concise and quite informative introduction and why you think you should be voted for as the next Vice President of OOAD representing Southern African region. I was caught by one of the things you mentioned, which is that you have connections So that got me thinking. We need to have connections, right? To be able to pull
Yes.
strings in the region.
No, not pulling strings in the region, doing the right thing to get our work out there. I don't do like
Please
pulling
don't
strings.
don't misinterpret me. Pulling strings
Oh,
means
okay.
making things happen, like
Yes,
getting
yes.
the job done. That's what I
Yes.
meant by that.
Okay.
So that's quite interesting. So I would leave the floor for Dr. Pago and Professor Preston. The floor is yours, sir. You can you can ask Mavis Kolobi a couple of things you would like her to respond to. Professor Presley, yeah, the floor is yours.
I don't know, I keep getting this intermittent cut off. Okay,
Sorry
so
about that.
okay, I think I heard Mavis say that there is something that is lacking, right? So OAAD is not engaging with what external stakeholders in the way that should happen. So Mavis, how do you think you can help, right? Because you got the connections, yeah, like Professor Samuel said. So how can you get this connection to materialize? Because we want to see things happen in OAAD. What, how are you going to make it happen?
Okay, thank you, Prof. First, in my area of research, I feel like the first thing that we have to do is to build a partnership with African Economic Research Consortium, ARC. You cannot talk about doing research in Africa as an economist and you are not partnering with the right partner, and the right partner in our field is ARC. Currently, they've been running proposals, and I was shortlisted in one of the proposals, and I was amazed that I could not see the faces that I usually see in the group, and I was like, no, something is wrong. And I actually remember I had actually shared one of the adverts in one of our groups. I was like, this is wrong. If we want our food to be felt in Africa, this is the platform that we should be using as OAAD. For me, that will be the first thing that we have to do, especially in my research area. Make sure that we link with ARC. They have so many opportunities, especially for young researchers who don't have any experience.
All right. Thank you, Mavis Kolobi, for that concise response. I don't know if Professor Presley has other questions.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
All right, thank you. What about Dr. Pago? All right, if he doesn't, thanks once again, Mavis Kolobi. I would ask just one last question before you go. You know, OOAD, this term would last for 2 years. So what are your plans in the first 1 year and the last year? What do you
the last
intend?
year or the first?
Both, the first and the
Both.
second.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you, in some ways, quantify what you hope to bring to the table in the first 1 year and the last year? The first year and the second year.
In the first year, my first objective is linked to being the vice president for Southern Africa. First things first, we need to have a group that focuses on research in Southern Africa. The problems that we have here are different from problems that other parts of Africa have. That's going to be the first thing that I'm going to do, and make sure that we push through and make sure that we get research output there. And in my second term, when I leave, I want to make sure that there's a memorandum of agreement between OAAD and ARC. That's like the first thing that I want to push and make sure that when I leave, it's there.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the response and very precise. Rather. So we would get back to you after now. You could be on the platform if you choose to, but if you also want to exit, you're free to do so. If you have some other things you would like to
Thank
give
you.
your time to. Yeah, thank you once more for choosing to serve OAD. Yeah. Bye. Next candidate would be Eric Ni Amu. Is Eric here? Eric Ni Amu. Is Kiro Sichungwe here? Kiro Sichungwe. Oh, they are not here. What about Dadu Amo? Is Dadu Amo here?
That's the same person.
Oh, the name is very long then.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so he's not here. What about Lamek Chimpero? Chimfero also. Lamek. Is Lamek here? No. So, Vice President West Africa. For Vice President West Africa, the first nominee is Oderinde Olayinka.
Yes,
If you are
I'm here. I'm
all
here,
right,
sir.
all right, sir. The platform is yours. Accept our condolences, and we ask that the Most High will grant you and the entire family the fortitude to bear the loss.
Amen.
Sorry, he lost his dad, and we just
Father-in-law.
got to know this. Oh, sorry,
Father-in-law.
father-in-law. Sorry about
Yes.
that.
My
We just
dad is
got to.
already dead. He's dead already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got to know that a few minutes ago in our group. So sorry about that. So,
It's okay.
sir, please be as brief as possible. You have about 2 minutes
Yes.
to introduce yourself and tell this committee why you think you should be voted for as the vice president handling West African region.
Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody here present. My name is Oderinde Olayinka Kehinde, and I graduated from Southeast University, Nanjing, China, from in chemical engineering and technology. Presently, I'm home in Nigeria, and I'm a lecturer at Lee City University, Ibadan, Nigeria. Okay. The reason why I want to continue, why I want to recontest for the vice president of West Africa is we have a lot of work to do on our hands, and we've gotten into a particular point. But I am of the opinion that the level at which OAD is now, we may not be able to hand it over to another set of people until we're able to solidify our foundation very well. Now we've done a lot of work, and so many beautiful things that we've done. And I think I was one of those people, those first people that firstly gave a webinar on OAD as regards to COVID-19. And that particular, that particular webinar was able to give nothing less than 20 publications. But unfortunately, at that time, we were yet it in the mind of people that OAD should part of their affiliation. But even immediately after that, we got something started. I think as the moment, OAD had close to about, if not 30 publications, as their affiliation. That's a very difficult thing. So I am multifaceted anyway. I'm able to interchange because I'm a material chemist. I'm able to interchange between material chemistry and some other research group, because presently I'm working with transportation engineering group, and I've been able to give suggestions to people in social sciences, which they are presently working on. Not even that. There's so many wonderful applications that are coming up, especially that of microplastic was meted by me. And I know that so many works on that microplastic is still ongoing, but which I'm very happy to be able to put that one out. Not even that, even in my group, material science and engineering, even in chemistry group, we've been able to publish one work which is about to come out this month. So basically on that, there is so much work to do with respect to OAD, and I think that I want to be part of that vision to be able to lay a very solid foundation. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you, sir, for that introduction and a statement of reasons why you believe you are the candidate to take on the position of Vice President Western Africa for OAD. So I would leave the floor to Professor Presley and Dr. Arnold. Hello, Professor Presley. Are you there?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know I was muted there. Thanks,
All right.
Chairman. So I'm looking at the candidates here for West Africa. I think they've made the highest number, huh? Almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot of people going.
Exactly.
But Dr. Olayemi, sorry, I'm from West Africa, but I saw with names. Yes, I think you've been the one posting a lot of information,
Exactly.
right? On the different groups.
Yeah.
Yes, I think your work is it's not in Haiti. I'm not praising you in a way, but looking at this number, I guess you have a sense of the number of people who are contesting with you. Now, seeing that you've already had, say, a year or two, right?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you think it would be a great idea to just stay in the back and support those other guys behind you? But you must be the one to go another 2 years. Doesn't that sound selfish in a way?
Thank you very much, sir. Like I said, we OAD is just at the foundational stage, and in most of our discussion, we let me just say, I still feel that we still have a very long way to go. The level at which OAD is, if we have to give it to a new set of people that are coming, they may not be able to know where we are because OAD is not getting any fund from anybody. We're using our personal money to be able to run all those. Now, number one, we're yet to finally host our website. Are you getting me? Now, all those things are on ground. Then these are, even with respect to registration, we're still having issues, which I know we'll be able to settle. So all those things that are on ground that we're yet to finalize, as in what, get a very solid and strong foundation. If we have to give it to those next set of people, if we don't, if we don't complete it, to hand it over to another, they might have issues with OAD. So that's the reason why I think we should be able to consolidate on what we have ground now, so that after that we can now be able to stay back door and advise those who are coming in. Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah. All right, Professor Presley, do you have other queries for him?
No, Chairman. That's okay.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Oderinde. Very apt in your response, and yeah, let's see. We hope you guys will progress to the next. I mean, for the Vice President's Western Africa, you will progress to the next stage. Of course, the outcome would be communicated to you after now. And if you would like to be on the platform, please feel free to do so. If you also would like to exit, yes, sir, you can do that. All right, thank you. Next candidate is Zankawa Sanusi. Zankawa Sanusi. Zankawa Sanusi Mumeni. No. If you're on the platform, please indicate Zankawa Sanusi. Otherwise, we move to the next for Vice President West Africa, Hasan Francis Wilfred. He's Hasan Francis. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Hasan is here.
All right, I already cited you. Please, the floor is yours. Please be precise as much as you can. You have about 2 minutes to introduce yourself and tell us the reasons why you think you are the best candidate,
Thank you very
or
much.
why you think you're eligible to contest for the post of Vice President West Africa.
Thank you
The
very
floor
much,
is yours.
Chairman Samuel, and let me say thank you to all of those on the panelists and my fellow colleagues on the platform tonight, whether senior colleagues, equal colleagues, or junior colleagues. My name is Hasan Francis Whitfield, and I'm from Liberia. And I'm a PhD student at the Shanghai University of Finance and Economics, where I'm majoring in international law with concentration on international arbitration and international transaction. The question from the chair panelist is, why do I feel I'm qualified to contest? I believe the guidelines set by the electoral body qualifies me, and that's the reason why I'm contesting in these elections if qualified from tonight's meeting. So when it comes to my experience, currently, I am the president of the Liberian Students in China, an institution that is catering to over 700 Liberian students across the country. And at least I'm serving for a second and final term in my leadership. Before coming to China, I have served as a government employee working in the office of the Senate Pro Tem of the Liberian Senate. That's the highest, the fourth highest office in my country, where I work as senior research analyst. Okay, when it comes to OAAD, to be sincere, I do not remember how I even joined the institution. I just saw myself in a group and I kept following this group and later took interest in the group. And I want to extend thanks to the president, outgoing, who was able to coordinate efforts and ensure that we went to other groups of our specializations. So what I think about OAAD, there are basically four things I think about OAAD. And the previous speaker, professor from Nigeria, who just spoke before me, alluded to one of those things. So one thing I hope to work along with the president-elected to achieve for OAAD will be coordination. Coordination in two aspects. One, to coordinate OAAD with professional institutions, whereas the work of scholars in OAAD can be seen in those institutions, and those institutions could be willing to offer grants or whatsoever contribution they can to the institution or to scholars. The second issue would be, how well do we breed the membership of OAAD? And one thing I think we can do is to solidify our base by getting involved in students' organization, be it China and any part of the world where Africans are studying, because that becomes our breeding ground. Secondly, the issue of policy reform is a whole big discussion we could talk about surrounding OAAD, especially when it comes to the leadership structure and whatsoever. Policy reform is an issue we need to look at. And also giving OAAD financial independence. Like the previous speaker said, OAAD needs to be an institution that can fund herself.
Hasan,
and we have the ideas and the strategy to ensure that we achieve that. I will end here because of time. We will have all in our manifesto.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you so much, Hasan Francis Wilfred. Quite informative and concise. I would leave the floor for Professor Presley to ask questions.
Oh, okay. So Hassan, I didn't even know I would meet you here, right? The guy from Liberia. It's like you like to be in power, right? You're leading the Liberian students and you want to lead OAAD. Will you have time for all of this work? In OAAD, there are lots of stuff, right? Competing for your attention. And indications are that it is not even stopping. So how will you be able to manage two large institutions at the same time?
So thank you, Professor Wiese, for that question. I think it's all about time management, how well one manages his or her time, because there are a lot of issues that I'm engaged with, even while I run the Liberian Students Association in China. There are a lot of issues, but as important issue arises, we let go of issues that are of least importance.
So you beat.
All right. Okay.
That's okay.
No,
Yeah,
no, no,
that's okay.
no, 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 no.
No,
I
it's
just have,
okay.
I
I'm
just have a
cool.
point. Okay, thank you
Okay.
so much for that very wonderful questions. I'm gonna ask one more question before he goes. Basically, you said when you have important issues, you tend to ignore the less important ones.
Mhm.
Do you think that's a good idea for a leader, or
Okay.
you try to contain both, of course, giving priority to the pressing one. Of
Okay, thank
course,
you.
the member of your community would expect, as a leader representing them, that you should be able to attend to their needs and challenges. You know, to you it might be a small issue, but to them probably it isn't.
Okay, so thank you. I never had the time to further explain well. So when I say let go, when there are greater issues before you, there are means by which you can let go of other issues, that is relieving them to other people. So for example, serving as the Liberian Students President, my tenure expired next June or next July. And after that, I will have no more time to run. And moreover, I'm not speaking of the Liberian situation, Liberian student situation. I'm speaking of other situations. Currently now, I serve as the head for African students in my community, in my university. There are other people who want to serve. I could just let go of that. It's okay. Another person can serve while I focus on other bigger things that come my way. That's what I meant.
All right, all right. Thank you, Francis, for that clarification. We would get back to you afterwards. You could be on the platform and you could as well exit if you choose to do so. And thank you once more for your interest in coming out to contest for the post of Vice President, West Africa, OAAD. All right. Next candidate would be Jane Aleke N. Jane Aleke N.
Yes, that's me.
Oh,
Hello,
all right.
everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm Jane Aleke, and I'm a PhD student here in China. I'm studying social work and public administration. My experiences are, okay, why I want to, take part in this position in OAAD. Actually, I've been in OAAD for about barely 2 months now. But when I heard about the organization and the vision of the organization, I was really touched and I wanted to be a part of it. And why is that? I've been a person that has been interested in development studies, especially in Africa and in my country, Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria, by the way. And from my academic records, I've been my BSc, I did development studies, my master development studies, and right now I'm doing social work and public administration. So development has been an interest to me, and not just in the aspect of just doing research and writing works and publishing, but in the aspect of making sure that development gets to to the grassroots, to individuals personally. Like I've been a teacher for about for some years, and I've done some work also with mostly young people in an NGO where we worked with the rehabilitation of prisoners. So in these areas, I've been able to acquire some certain skills that I believe that would be very important in handling this position of Vice President West Africa. Though I've never had a big role or leadership role, but being a teacher, I've learned a lot. about organization and communication skills, that I believe is required in this position for it to be able to, grow. Though I'm not, what do you call a big shot in leadership, but I believe that these leader skills that I've gained from being a teacher who has been with young people, and I've also, have made some impact in these people. I believe that serving in OAD, I'll be able to contribute my own quota in the little way that I know how to, because first of all, why I wanted to join this to participate in this position is because first of all, when I heard that the post was vacant, I didn't see much people posting that they wanted to be part of this in the group. So I'm like, why is nobody from West Africa posting that they want to be to vie for this post? So I said, okay, let me volunteer, do my the little that I can, because the vision and from what I've seen so far in this OAD, it's a great organization that is still coming up, and I want to be a part of something great. That is why I want to partake in this position.
All right, thank you, thank you. I just have to stop you at this point because of the time. Yeah, we've heard you, we've heard your introduction, you've talked about your experiences and your reasons why you think you should be the Vice President, West Africa OOAD. So I would leave the floor for Professor Presley now, or Dr. Arnold to ask you some questions.
Okay, thank you for this presentation. I would like, just now you mentioned that you used to work with the young people. So I would like to ask, what is the greatest impact you had on those young people?
Oh, of course. First of all, I was able to, train them in certain life skills that, some of them are using right now to earn living. Skills that like, that they used to make a living right now. Some of them, they've become entrepreneurs of their own, open their own businesses, and also working with the prison rehabilitation for young people in the prison. We will also be able to establish education system for them in the prison. Those who are not young people, they were not able to attend schools before they entered prison, and they were able, to get teachers, and schools to, have collaboration with the prisons, and since then they have been, having, classes, and some of them got their BSc, their certificates and degrees while in prison. So some of them, when they left prison, they were not like totally destroyed that they had nothing. They came out and they are, they have something. They are graduates, just like people, like their time was not really, wasted as per se for being in prison.
All right. Dr. Arnold, do you have other questions for her?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. All right, Jane Aleke, thanks for your interest, and surely we would get back to you afterwards. You could stay on the platform if you wish to do so, and you can as well exit if you want to. Please feel free. And thank you for your interest once again in vying for the Vice President West Africa OOAD. Next candidate on our list is Mr. Odi, which I suppose is Elijah Odi as well. If my assumption is wrong, then Mr. Odi can come on. That's one. All right, then next is Oyerindi. Do we have Oyerindi in the house? If we don't, then we move to General Secretary. We don't have time. So for General Secretary, we have the names Fumbo, Holder, Holder. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name very well. I'm sorry about that. It's not in any way intentional.
Okay. Hello everyone. First of all, my name is misspelled. It is Fambo for the last name.
Oh, it's Fumbo?
Yes, it is
Fambo.
Fambo. Yes.
Oh, I have Fumbo here. Sorry, Fambo.
Okay. Okay. I will introduce myself. My name is Hulda Fambo from Benin Republic. I'm
Yeah,
PhD.
please before you proceed, you have about 2 minutes,
Yeah.
and you're being timed. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you. My name is Fambo Hulda from Benin Republic. I'm PhD student at Nanka University, and my major is economics. I'm the current General Secretary of the Association of in China, FAMES Benin, and I'm also the coordinator of the OAAD Economic Research Group. I'm very passionate about e-commerce, let's say digital economy, women leadership, and also entrepreneurship. So I want to contest for this election as the General Secretary of OAAD because I have that passion of making a new Africa. Because I think that OAAD is one of the few organizations that brings together young African intellectual from diverse horizon and background. So I think it can be a very powerful organ that can shape the future of Africa in few years. Because one of my greatest objective is to see a new Africa, and I think that OAAD has a very important role to play in that. So as a secretary, I would like to help the OAAD to achieve and to implement the visions by promoting partnerships between our researchers and industry key leaders organize webinars, workshop, so that after the so after our researches, we can be able to have our own businesses back home. Okay, thank you very much. That is all I have.
All right. Thank you, Fambo Holder. Thank you. It's no pressure. Don't worry. It's yeah. Just feel free and express yourself. Yeah, very precise. So I would leave the floor for Professor Presley and Dr. Arnold to ask their questions.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask you one question. Well, let me say first, it's not my job to do that, but I have been seeing you appearing on a lot of programs. I think you have the mind to serve, and that's really great. And now you're going for the position of the General Secretary, right? What really attracts you to this position? What is it about this job that you like so much and you want to be the General Secretary?
Holder, can you hear him?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
All right, the floor is yours. You have 60 seconds to respond, please.
Already the General Secretary of Benin's Association here. So I think it is similar to this one, just it is in a bigger scale. So I think that the most important for me is to be able to put my passion at the service of our organization just to contribute. So being a secretary, I think it will help me get more involved in making decisions so that I can be very useful and helpful for the organization.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Professor Presley. Farmboy, it's good to know that you're interested in participating in the election for those contesting for the post of General Secretary of OAAD. We would get back to you afterwards because we are running out of time. So you could stay on the platform if you choose to, but if you want to leave, you're also free to do that. All right, thank you once again for your interest in OAD. Our next candidate for the same position, General Secretary, is Alimo Kofi Philip. Alimo Kofi Philip. Is Alimo Kofi Philip in the house? If not, then we quickly move to the next position, which is the Assistant General Secretary. We have Olayemi. Is Olayemi in the house?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right, the floor is yours, and it's good to see you again on this
Okay, good evening,
platform.
sir.
Yeah, so you have about 2 minutes to introduce yourself and tell us why we should support or endorse you for the next stage of the election, basically with respect to the position of the Assistant General Secretary of OOAD. All right, the
Thank
floor
you
is
so
yours.
much. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Two
Uh,
minutes,
okay,
about 2 minutes.
my name is Olayemi Hafiz Rufai, and I'm a PhD student in University of Science and Technology of China, and I'm studying philosophy of science and technology. Currently, I'm the treasurer of the Pioneer Executive Council of Organization of African Academic Doctors, OAD. And the reason why I'm actually vying for the position of Assistant General Secretary now is because during the last few period that we have been running the organization, I realized that I support more in the aspect of the secretariat activities, for example, like conducting minutes, and because the general secretary and the assistant general secretary, they have some other engagements that maybe, that made them not to be in China, and it's quite difficult to connect. So in most cases, I do take charge of the secretariat activities. So I think I realized that I could do more in that aspect, and I found out that there's more to do in the secretariat activity, especially as a new organization. So it requires like connecting to bodies, and documentation is very important. So that's why I'm applying for this position. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the introduction and precise explanation of why you think you should be the next Assistant Secretary General or Assistant General Secretary of OAD, rather. I was just curious about the fact that you're currently holding the treasurer. Of course, you've tried to explain that position, and now Assistant General Secretary. Well, I might leave that to Professor Presley and Dr. Hagu. So it's more or less like swapping, right? It's swap roles. So,
Chairman,
all right.
Chairman, you want me to extend your question, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so I'm very sorry about this. Well, that's the art in what we're doing, right? We should have fun with what we're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think it's a beautiful question there, right? Maybe I will add some flavor to it. Right? What is the connection? You say you're studying philosophy of science. Can you draw any connection between the science you're studying and the treasury position you're holding now, and the financial, not financial, but the assistant general secretary position you hold?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I did my bachelor's degree in University of Ibadan in Nigeria in economics. And I've been involved also before in association, students association in aspects of treasury. So, and my master's degree was on public administration, even though my PhD is quite a different philosophy of science. So I think my experience as a treasurer before actually made me to be able to do more, especially I am quite good at accountancy. So I'm able to handle the position quite well. And I think in the position, I was able to, for example, we're able to create websites for the organization. And like one of the vice president was mentioned before, that we use our money to run the organization for now. So I think I was able to accumulate a fund from well-wishers and maybe most of us. So we're able to handle some of those activities, and the records are actually fully updated.
All right, Professor Presley, do you have a comment for him?
Oh, no, it's okay.
All right, thank you. I was just wondering when you responded by saying that you handled the post of a treasurer previously, and all of a sudden, you've had 1 year experience as a treasurer with the current executives, right? OAAD current
Yes.
executives. And you've
Yes.
had experience previously as a treasurer, and now you are swapping. Well, that might be a discussion for another day because we don't have much time. So that got me thinking again. Thank you for your interest once again, and you could be on the platform if you choose to. Otherwise, you could exit if you have other things to do. But definitely, yeah, we would get back to you afterwards. All right, next is the editor-in-chief position. Iresanya Emmanuel. Is Iresanya Emmanuel on the platform?
I'm here.
All
I'm here.
right. It's good to see you again.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Prof.
Yes. So the floor is yours, please. You have 2 minutes. Introduce yourself. About 2 minutes, to be precise. Introduce yourself and tell us the reasons why you think you should be the EIC, editor-in-chief of OAAD.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, Honorable Chairman and members of the Electoral Board members and my fellow contestants. My name is Emmanuel Olaoluwa Iresanya. I'm privileged to be one of the pioneer members of the Organization of African Academic Doctors. I'm presently serving as the editor-in-chief. And I would also like to say that I'm the coordinator of the OAAD Climate Group. And I'm also the mentor to the OMG Group, which is the master arm of the OAAD. I'm a final year doctoral candidate at the South China Sea Institute of Oceanology. I would like to say that I worked at the Department of Marine Science, Federal University of Technology as a lecturer and a researcher before coming over to China to commence my PhD. That is 2018. And I would like to say that I've grown in leadership from my elementary school all through my high school and the university. I was privileged to serve as the class coordinator. I've served as the assistant general secretary. I served as general secretary. I served as electoral committee members, and which later I became the chairman of the electoral committee. I founded organization and also a co-founder. I'm privileged to be president of what we call general coordinator of several organizations, and I'm also an entrepreneur. And I would also like to say that I'm presently a reviewer to a number of journals in both Springer and Elsevier, and I'm an editorial member of African Journal of Geoscience. So I've worked with other scholars in OAAD editorial board in the past few months to provide in-house critical review and suggestion to above 30 articles. And I must tell us that out of the 30 articles, many of them have been published in reputable SCI journals. And I would like to say that this was not an individual effort. It was collaboration, working with people in different fields to actually provide this. And presently, I'm working alongside with present executive members and other committee members to bring to bed the maiden edition of OAAD annual conference and special issue. And this is one of the reasons that I'm actually seeking for re-election, such that this vision, the mandate of betting the maiden edition of the OAAD annual conference, which we intend to flow alongside special issue, is not just a reality. It's not just an ambition, but rather a reality.
Your
Thank you.
time is all right. Thank you. Oh, you were already rounding up. Thank you for the brief introduction and stating reasons why you think you should be the EIC of OAD. And well, I'm going to pick you up on one thing. You said other contestants, right? Unfortunately, on the list we have here, you don't have anyone contesting with you.
Did I say that? I don't think I said other contestant. I just mean my fellow contestant. I mean vying for other offices, not necessarily editorial.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, not yes. I mean general other contestants in other position.
Oh, okay. I might have misinterpreted that. So yeah, the floor is open for questioning. Dr. Arnold and Professor Presley. So probably that was why you were a little bit relaxed, because you know you don't have people contending with you.
No, really. So this is just me.
Well, I got a question here.
Okay.
To the editor-in-chief. I think I happen to be a part of two of the groups you lead, right? The editorial group.
Okay.
Am I correct? Are you the leader of that group?
Yes, I am.
And the climate group.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, I have not been impressed with anything I see happening in the two groups there. Beginning from the editorial group, I really do not know how things even work. Whether you have activities for the editors there to information to give them or so. And then going back to the climate group, it's like I almost wrote one day asking whether that group was even existing. So we cannot see what's going to happen in the future. So we look at the work you've done in the past, right, to kind of make guesses as to what we can expect, right? Exactly. So what will you say, you've done, right, with the way you manage these two groups, right, for which you think we should count on you for the next 2 years?
Thank you, Professor Pressy. I would like to answer the two observations you raised individually. Firstly, I would like to say that the editorial board member is not just a unit. It's actually an ad hoc committee, which comes to play when there's a need. And our need basically is to provide an in-house critical review and with that which we do regularly. And most of the time, we have biodata of our members. When review comes, we make direct consultation. I chat them up, send mails. I wouldn't know if you have reviewed for us in the time past. That is why it seems as if the activities in the editorial board is not regular as it used to be in other groups.
But don't you think your editors need to, attend some discussions, right? So as to help them improve their experiences with the editorial work they do. Well, I serve as associate editor for one of the civil partner joiners. And it is part of the activities that they will have these programs with the editors. Even if they do not have assignments, at least they're abreast with happenings. Even the documentations, the amount of papers that are coming in, what's happening, right? At least they will be told. But nothing as such has been seen, at least based on my observation in the group there. And going to the climate group, exactly the same thing.
Exactly. I was going to comment on that as well. Even if you, of course, it's quite understandable that sometimes you might need to consult people on private grounds. It's okay. It's totally fine. But it is also important for you, because I want to believe you're the one coordinating the group, to carry the whole group along. Let them know what is happening. You keep them updated, just like he said, through maybe mini meetings, and perhaps even posting some updates. Like, for example, I'm sure to a very large extent that Professor Presley is not aware of what you're just mentioning here. If perhaps
no, like the issue. Sorry to cut you short.
like private consultations. I mean that you send emails, you reach out to people privately.
We even need to know the papers
exactly,
that are going in,
the progress.
what editors are doing, right? There should be regular reports, right? These are the papers that came in.
So these are the kind of updates.
The paper.
I would, if given the chance, we would put that into place, especially the area of training.
And this can help in so many ways. Sorry to take more time. Like, for example, it can even get other editors on board. It can get them to their foot. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can still hear you. Yes.
All right. So I guess he lost connection. All right, let's thank you, Professor Presley. Thank you, Iresanya, for your interest. We would definitely get in touch with you afterwards. You could as well stay on the platform if you choose to, or you could exit. All right, next candidate is Hasan Larry for Assistant EIC, Editor-in-Chief. Is Hasan Larry in the house? Is he here? Is Hasan Larry here? Oh, if Hasan Larry is not here, what about Leonard? Is Leonard here? Hello? Is Leonard here?
I am here.
All right. Who? Leonard?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. You are okay, Dr. Leonard. Please, the floor is yours. Assistant Editor-in-Chief.
Okay, I am Leonard.
Please. You have about 2 minutes. We are running out of time. Please, so stick with the time.
Okay.
Introduce yourself and tell us why you should be the assistant EIC.
Okay. I am Leonard Nhakirutimana from Burundi, and I am in Burundi. I am graduated from Chinese Academy of Agricultural Science. Now I am a teacher and scientific research at University of Burundi, and I am also the director of a program of environmental protection, climate change, and outcome of natural resources. I was chosen to be assistant of editor because my actual job is similar. I have 5 people who reported to me, and I report to my chief. I make correction of different paper to give the report to the president of Burundi. And many times I make different chronology. When a document comes first, I make it for the first. And as the assistant for editor is to assist the editor in chief to see if all paper is good arranged. And when the reviewer finished, I reported to the editor in chief. It's why I was taking this position, because my job is similar. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Leonard. The floor is open for Dr. Pago, Arnold, and Professor Presley. Hello?
Hello. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to ask you, what vision do you have for the OAD?
Okay. OAAD is a global organization of Africa academic doctor. And when all the members do well their job, it will become a good platform for to create knowledge of Africa people or for worldwide. And when we contribute very well, the OAAD will be the first platform in the world. Thank you.
So that's your plan for OAD?
Yes.
All right.
I want to help to improve African.
You want to help to do what?
I want to help to improve African knowledge, to create and to improve African knowledge.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Pago, and thank you, Dr. Leonard. We would get in touch with you afterwards. You could stay on the platform if you want to. You could as well leave if you choose to. All right. Thank you for your interest once again. The next is Public Relations Officer, and the candidate here is Amza. I could see Amza. All right, Dr. Hamza, the floor is yours. You have about 2 minutes, and it's nice to see you again. You have about 2 minutes to introduce yourself and let us know why we should vote you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is nice to be on this platform at this stage. We have been following the growth of the OAAD since from its inception, and it is really amazing to see it reach this stage. My name is Hamza Suleiman Abdullahi. I am from Nigeria. Back in Nigeria, I am a lecturer at the Department of Mechanical Engineering in Bayero University, Kano. I finished my PhD from Zhejiang University in Hangzhou. I have a PhD in computer science and technology, and I am currently a postdoctoral researcher at the same university. I have been serving OAD. Actually, I started as a volunteer before, where we have been helping in organizing the webinars and projecting the image of OAD globally. Then when the opportunity came, I was given the opportunity to serve as the assistant PRO, where we work with Dr. Tusin, who is the PRO at that time. And we have recorded so much successful events with her. As you can see, majority of the people, I think most of the people in this room get to know about OAAD through our work with Dr. Tosin. And for the past few months, Dr. Tosin has been very busy, whereby I took over. I took over to the work of the actual PRO, and we have also received so many commendations about our work. And with this experience that I have shown from volunteer to the assistant PRO, I think I will be a very good fit to lead the public relations office for the next 2 years. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Hamza, for that brief introduction of yourself and also explicit description of how you think you could, of why you think rather we should vote you for the position of public relations officer. Yeah, it's quite interesting that you worked with Dr. Tosin, as you mentioned, in a similar capacity. It's good to hear that. The floor is open for Dr. Arnold and Professor Presley. Please. You will entertain some questions from them.
Okay. I'm not on mute. Very good. So it appears like you've been working the role of a PRO already, or for some time now, right?
Yes.
Hello? Okay, so based on your experience so far with that role, what do you think should be the most important traits or personality traits of a PRO?
And the most important personality of a PRO, I think, is the human relations, because you have to interact with a lot of people where you have to represent the image of the organization. So in that situations, you have to really know how to interact with people. And I can say that I do have that trait, because if previous encounters have shown anything, is that we are able to engage and brought so many prominent people to the OAAD, especially the what you call the professors that are not even aware of the organization, that we have to interact with them and tell them about the organization, and they have joined successfully. So with this, I think I have what it takes to be able to interact with people on behalf of OAAD.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Professor Presley, and thank you, Dr. Hamza, for the precise response. So we would communicate with you afterwards. You could be on the platform if you want to. You could as well exit if you choose to. All right, next is the Assistant Public Relations Officer, Edidiong Atapa, right? Edidiong Atapa. Edidiong, right? All right. You have 2 minutes to introduce yourself and tell us the reasons why you think you should be voted in. We can't hear you. Your mic is muted. I can see from here. You have to unmute. Yep.
Right. Thank you very much. My name is Edidio Atapa from Nigeria. I'm a final year PhD student of Georgia University. I joined OAD a little over a year ago, and I've been serving in my capacity as the Secretary of Life Science Research Group. And during this time, I've facilitated the creation of 4 subgroups, which we've published 2 SCI papers and 1 is currently under review. And prior to a PhD, I have experience in customer relations and operations management. So I believe my skills in communication and relationship and conflict resolution and administration makes me an excellent candidate for this role.
All right, thank you. What the precise introduction and explanation of your reasons why you should be voted in. So the floor is yours, Professor Presley and Dr. Pago.
The customer relationship part, I think, could be very interesting if you're able to influence customers. Then you might be able to work the role of a PRO, assistant PRO for OAAD very well. So I'm kind of interested in knowing a bit more about that customer part. What exactly did you do, and what have you learned from that?
I worked in a project management firm. So basically,
I mean, the customer relationship.
So basically, I was the face of the organization I worked. I make sure I make the customer satisfied. I communicate their displeasure, make sure their problems are handled and sorted on time. I was the intermediary between the customer and my boss. So also in my church, I was the unofficial PRO for my church, and all the concerts, programs, I was the one that facilitated all of this. So I have these experiences.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that response, Edidion. You talked about conflict resolutions, right?
Yeah.
So can you just tell us in about 60 seconds how you were able to resolve conflict between parties in the past? Just within 60 seconds, then we move to the next.
The conflict aspect, I don't want to talk about the other ones in the past, but I would like to talk about the ones in OAD. We had a little challenge in my research group, which Dr. Elijah was aware of. So it was really serious, but we managed it in such a way that it did not escalate into the bigger house. So I can't really give details because I don't want to expose the parties involved, but.
All right, thank you for that illustration of.
I can testify.
All right. Maybe we would have the opportunity to listen to the testimony some other day. Thank you, Mr. President, to be elected. Right? Next, thank you, Edidion, and thank you for your interest, rather, for wanting to be the Assistant Public Relations Officer of OAAD. We would get in touch with you afterwards. You could be on the platform if you want to. You could as well exit if you choose to. So next is for the post of Financial Secretary, we have Uyanga Victoria. Is Uyanga Victoria on the platform? If yes,
Yes,
please,
sir.
the floor is yours. All right,
Okay.
please.
Thank you, Dr. Sam.
2 minutes. Self-introduction and reasons why you think you are the best candidate.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Victoria Uyanga. I'm a doctoral student at Shandong Agricultural University, and I'm a nutritionist by profession. So coming to OAD, I've been opportune to serve in the Agric sub-research group. leadership where I'm the secretary and I'm also in the finance group. I think since 2020, I've been opportune to work with the OAAD, in the OAAD under various capacities. But for this current election, I'm vying for the position of the financial secretary. And I think this will be the first time that the organization is having this. And I'm passionate about helping the organization in managing her financial transactions and record keeping, since most of my portfolio has to center around the secretariat. So with this, I know I'm on course and I believe I'll be able to contribute my quota to the organization's visions, missions, and development. Thank you.
All right, thank you. What a precise self-introduction and also statement of reasons why you think you should be considered for the post of the financial secretary. Over to Professor Presley and Dr. Pago. Yeah, Dr. Pago is up. Oh, you unmuted yourself. You muted yourself. I guess mistakenly. Dr. Pago,
Okay.
you muted. All right.
Well, okay. Thank you, and congratulations again for your nomination. I would like to ask you, like, have you ever held any financial position in in any organization before?
Yes, sir. I have, during my master's studies, I was privileged to act as the welfare secretary as well as the treasurer.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. And can you share with us your experience?
My experience is that having to handle money is very sensitive. That's the most important there. And also being that in this position, I'm vying for the financial secretary, so I'll now be working closely with the treasurer. And what we have with the organization now is that we are about taking a step forward to involve most internal as well as external stakeholders. So we're hoping the situation is going to change from where we are having to contribute to move the organization forward to where we are having to cooperate with more partners. And this calls for, should I say, we're taking it just a step further. So this calls for more sensitization. And let me just say, it will involve much work on our end because the financial transactions as well as record keeping is going to be an important phase in this next direction that we are moving to.
Okay. So, so according to you, so what skill do you possess so that to be chosen for this position?
Okay, thank you for that. I would say I'm a practicing farmer, and one of the core concepts in as a practicing farmer is agribusiness, where I've been well versed in bookkeeping, and most of my portfolio has to do with secretarial activities. And besides that, I'm also a project management professional, and I've also been opportune to work under various circuits and sectors. So when it comes to managing the financial transactions of the organization, I believe we're in safe hands. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Pago, for those questions, and thank you for the responses given. Victoria Uyanga. So we would get across to you afterwards. Of course, you could remain on the platform if you want to, otherwise you could exit. Thank you once more for your interest in choosing to contest for the post of Financial Secretary, OAAD. Next is Mwezi Chiamaka Nyoma. I hope I got that correctly. If this candidate is on board, please, you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
I can. From here, I can hear you. So you have 2 minutes, to be precise, to introduce yourself and tell us reasons why you should be voted in as the financial secretary. Yeah.
You're welcome. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you very Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I'm by name Mweze Chamaka Noma, a Nigerian, and a PhD student at Southwest University, Chongqing, China, majoring in educational leadership and management. The reason why, first of all, the reason what motivates me to participate in this election is when you talk of leaders, you need transformational leaders. Some people tell you leaders are born and leaders are made. If you feel leaders are born, then Chamaka is one of them. If you feel leaders are made, then I'm also one of them. And my leadership qualities can be seen in some of the groups which I have facilitated, like the finance group. I'm the financial secretary. The other subgroup which I tag past train. Understand? So when you talk of financial secretary, have you ever imagined an organization without a big organization without an accountant, or even an organization like the OAAD without a financial secretary? That is to tell you the work of a financial secretary is very, very delicate. It needs someone who I tagged it as PISSD, that is passionate, someone who is innovative, and someone who is smart and determined to do such a job. So I feel that Mweze Chamaka is the best candidate who can handle this. And in my previous experience before coming to China, I've been able to work in a Chinese company as a financial secretary and also their translator. I'm accountable in anytime, and I'm accountable. So that's why I feel I'm the best candidate for this post. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chamaka Mwezi, for that brief introduction and reasons why you think you're the best candidate and should be voted as the financial secretary. I would now leave the floor for Professor Wesley or Dr. Arnold Arnold Pago. Both. So the floor is open for questioning. Remember, Amaka said she's a complete package. That I could pick from her statements.
Yeah, right. Right. So
Right?
in that case, yeah.
Okay.
So I would just make reference to Professor Samuel's statement, right? A complete package. So in that case, Amaka, I'm used to calling her Amaka. That's the name I know. I think I'm in her finance group. But if you are that experienced, then I can't wait to begin to hear some of your strategies, right, to make OAAD financial management system so unique. So do you want to share with us some of those strategies?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for the wonderful question. And my answer to that is, in my bachelor degree, I have a degree in accounting. So in being a financial secretary, it has to do with being accountable. It needs someone who is accountable to their organization. It doesn't need some, when you talk of being a financial secretary, you must be accountable, right? You must be available at all times. So at OAD, it's like, I call OAD home, far away from home. It's just an organization that is starting. So if we are not accountable, in near future, the organization can fall, what's our view. So you need someone who is accountable at all time, even 247 accountable. So I feel as the Chamaka Noma is accountable, so and reliable, no matter the condition I find myself in. So.
Just a quick question. So, thank you, Professor Presley. What a nice question. Could you share a testimony with us of all of this that you've been saying? Accountability. Do you have a practical?
Okay, accountability.
In
Number
60
one,
seconds.
Okay, thank you. Back in Nigeria, I was opportune to work in a Chinese company, and I was all their financial accounts are being sent to my account, and for no day have they complained that their money is missing, or I was not able to, or even a zero did not miss. So all the time they do call me, Amaka, can I recommend someone for them to work? Even here in China, they do call me to recommend someone who's like me to work in their organization. If I'm not accountable, they will not be calling me. They will not be looking for me here and there to recommend someone. So
if I understood you clearly, your claims are that
accounts are always balanced then?
Yes, it's always balanced. Yes, my trial balance is always balanced. Yes,
Balance.
no trial and error. Yes,
Okay. On both credit side and debit sides. How do
of course, no loss.
All right. I don't know if they have other questions. It seems Professor Presley wants to say something.
No.
All right. Thank you, Amaka, for your interest in vying for the post of Financial Secretary in OAAD. We would get in touch with you afterwards. You could stay on the platform if you choose to, or you can as well exit if you want to. You're free to decide on that. And the next is the treasurer. We have Elisha Ochieng, and I'm looking at him right away. So, the floor is yours. Please, 2 minutes, about 2 minutes. Self-introduction and reasons why you think you should be voted for as the treasurer of OAAD.
Thank you very much, Professor Samuel and Professor Presley and the other professor,
Yeah,
Arnold, I think. Yes, so my name is Elisha Ochieng of Tong University. My focus area is environmental management for sustainable development. Currently, I'm in Nairobi, Kenya, and I believe at this time of a great organization, even as we try to set up a global regional office, I think it's a good time for me to be here because I know there are formalities required and I'm physically available in Nairobi at the moment. And I think my credentials to be a treasurer, my greatest quality is integrity from my testimony and those people who know me, my integrity. And then again, I think my work will be very easy, just taking records of the expenditure and the debit, the credit, and I'm good with record keeping and also preparing reports. So I think my work will be very easy to that regards. Yes.
All right, thank you for that brief self-introduction and reasons why you think you should be voted as the treasurer of OAAD. Of course, Professor Presley is here and Dr. Arnold is here as well. Pargo Arnold.
Hello?
Question?
Yes,
Right.
question. Yeah. Okay, thank you for this presentation. So can you tell us like what improvement you can bring to that department?
Sure.
All right.
I believe as the treasurer, working closely with the financial secretary, one of the things I believe is missing in our academia is financial literacy. And I think we could find a way of maybe partnering with organizations who offer this kind of courses just to impart this on our members as part of the trainings we have so that members know, members are financially literate, members can financially plan, and members can also be financially disciplined. So as much as we are doctoring solutions for Africa, I think also very important is to be financially literate. Yes.
Okay.
So, but what do you mean by financially literate?
I think the shortest words I could use is if members can know how money works, that money follows value. So even in our attempts to doctor solutions, be it products we are making, they should be valuable. They should be the kind of products that are excellent. So I believe those are also very important, even as we work on our researches and innovations. Yes.
You make me scared over there. The impression I begin to get so quickly is that Or you might want to take some chances with our money, right? Let me make some quick investment.
No, not
Let
really.
me create some value, right? Before these guys can ask for their money.
No, I mean, value with our products. Our product should be valuable and excellent. Yes.
Quite impressive. Is that all? All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Elisha Ochieng. We would get in touch with you afterwards. You can remain on the platform if you want to, or you can exit as well. That totally depends on you.
Thank
We're
you also.
rounding up. We're winding up. I think Olayemi is the next. Do we have Olayemi in the house? Is Olayemi here? Okay. If no, then there are some candidates we left behind. I would like to run through them once again. For example, for Vice President Southern Africa, Kiru Sinchungwe. Is Kiru Sinchungwe here? Okay, no. For still Vice President Southern Africa, we have Dodu Amo. Is Dodu Amo here? Okay. For Vice President Southern Africa, we have Lamek Chimpero. Is Lamek Chimpero here? Okay, no. Then for Vice President West Africa, we have Zankawa Sanusi Mumini. Then we have Oyerinde and Mr. Odi. So then lastly, for General Secretary, we have Alimokofi Philip. Is Alimokofi Philip here? Okay. Then lastly, for Assistant Editor-in-Chief, we have Hasan Larry. Is Hasan Larry here? All right. If no, then I think we have come to the end of today's interview. I would like to specially thank every candidate that did the interview tonight for your time and for. All right, for the time and your interest in taking part in the forthcoming OOAD election across the various positions. Thank you so much, and definitely, I'm sure you're on the right course. I mean, contesting for these positions, you're on the right course because OOAD is an organization that will become much bigger than you and I can imagine today in the future. It has a lot of prospects. I can see that. And that's why I'm part of OOAD. So thank you once again and wish you the very best in the subsequent stages of the electoral process. We will definitely get back to you after now. Then special thanks to the editorial board, electoral board members. I'm quite used to editorial board. They are both boards, but there is a difference. One is editorial, one is electoral.
Yes.
Thank you. Big thanks to Professor Presley, to Dr. Pago Arnold, and the entire electoral board for making this happen, and also all the candidates. Without you, we won't be here. Even if we get everything set, if you're not here, then it means the job is not going to be done. Yeah. Thank you to everyone. We really appreciate your time and your commitment as well. And thank you too to the current executives of OOAD for their assistance with certain technical support and advice that has made today's interview possible. So without saying much, I would give a few minutes to Professor Presley if he has something to say, Dr. Arnold, and any of the candidates in house that would like to say one or two things before we close. It's already 11:59. All right, Professor Presley, Dr. Pago Arnold. Yeah, the floor is yours.
You know, whenever the chairman is done speaking and there is nothing left to say, it's been a fine process, a great learning process for a lot of us, including me. And I appreciate every moment spent tonight. And thanks to all of you, whether we are elected or not, we are all winners. And if you cannot make it this time, that is not even what I'm trying to suggest. But you should always have the courage to keep trying, because as Professor Samuel said, this OAAD is a giant already. So congratulations to all of us for being a part of this great deal.
So it's like Dr. Elijah would like to say something.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really want to thank all of us so much. I think I'm the most excited person. But I must say that I didn't know that the electoral board was going to be this hard and this tough on us. Right? It was a good drilling. It was a real good drill, and I enjoyed every bit of it. And as I would say that please look forward also into preparing other people who will be in the electoral board in the future, who would like to keep having something of this nature. Yeah, you know, in subsequent times, because in that way it ensures that we have the best people to take up leadership to drive the organization. And that can be our sustainability plan and, you know, moving forward. Thank you so much for the sacrifice you put into this and all the plans and all that. Thanks to everyone who participated. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you again. Thank you again. I wasn't so prepared. Please pardon me.
All right. Thank you. It's okay. Thank you, sir. And yeah, wish you all the very best in the subsequent stages of the electoral process. And we will surely keep in touch. The electoral board will surely get in touch. We surely
He's
get
an
in
academician, we understand.
It's not your fault.
No, it's not
all
his
right.
fault.
Thank you all. Bye, and wish you a great week.
Bye, guys.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah.
Great job. Great job.
All
We started
right.
yesterday and we ended next day.
Exactly. But at least the good thing is we were able to complete the task. I think it's quite important.
Yeah.
That's the joy.
Correct.
Whole thing.
And I will also ask whether you have any plan for those that missed. Like I think maybe
the board will discuss that.
Okay.
The board will discuss that and get in touch, I guess, with.
Okay,
So,
that's great.
Yeah, we have the names of those that missed here. I think we would share with ourselves.
Okay.
In the electoral committee.
Okay.
All right, I'm off the building.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Great job. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah. Thank you, Pago. Great job. Thank you so much. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And okay. Yeah. And one thing I wanted to ask is how somebody asked me who do we and how do we submit the bio? Who do we submit to? How do we submit?
Submit what?
The bio. The bio you asked for about the lecture.
Okay, I think like it's I will send a message tomorrow about it, but I think that you should submit it to the president of the electoral board.
Okay. Yeah, you can provide it means whether it's by WeChat or by email or whatever specific method, so we can. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see your real face, not the WeChat face. Yeah. Really grateful. Okay. All right. Okay. Have a great night. Okay, please.
Thank you. You too. Have a great week ahead.
Thank you. I wish you the same. It's all right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right. Yeah. Thanks.
Welcome.
Right. Thanks.